Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. This one is how to use Omega on a logo head. I haven't done this one for a while, and things have changed quite a bit from the original heads. If you do have a pre-Bento head, please go back and watch the original video. Those have a lot more parts and pieces, and so it is really important that you pay attention to that one and make sure you have like the makeup layer and stuff on. So please be sure to watch that if you have a pre-Bento head. If you have a Bento head, then you're good to go. Watch this video and I'll cover some things for you. This is going to be a really brief one. I just want to cover how to get Omega working. I'm not going to go over too much beyond that. So for this, literally, you don't even need your logo customization HUD. Well, actually, I take that back. We will need it at the end. I'm going to go over just a couple troubleshooting things. But first, I want to show you guys real quick how quickly Omega can actually be activated. I'll talk you through it while I do it, so it's going to take me a little bit longer than it usually does, but you guys are going to see really how fast this is and why you should not be intimidated. So, I just unpacked a new copy of the head. You're going to wear the head and the eyes. You also want to throw on your teeth, although they're not Omega. And what I'm going to do is find my Omega folder. I keep mine in body parts because I need it to use a lot of my appliers, which are body parts as far as I'm concerned. You're going to unpack your Omega system installer. I don't have my original kit, so I couldn't unpack that fresh for you guys. If you just bought that or just unpacked it, it should be at the top of your recent items. So look there. But what you're looking for is Omega System Installer -logo, whether you unpacked it previously or recently. Mine's like 4 years old, so that's why it's buried in my inventory and I can't even find the original box. Your one logo installer will work on every logo head going forward. So you don't have to keep buying that every time you buy a head, just like the HUDs. You buy one HUD, it works on all the heads. Same idea. So we're going to put on the logo installer, click it, and that's it. We just activated Omega. Legitimately, it was that quick. If you look in local, eyes are installing. Omega is now installed. Head is installing. Omega is now installed. And that's all you have to check for. So you're going to, that's it. Find your Omega System Installer -logo. Click it and make sure that in local both the head says Omega is now installed and your eyes say Omega is now installed. If you've done that, you've activated Omega. You're good to go. Now, how do you use Omega? Real quick, I'm going to show you guys. We're just going to go down here. I'll find a skin. I'll pick a dark one. So you guys, here we go. Espresso. That's a nice dark one. You're going to put on a dark skin. Or you're going to put on a skin, sorry. I'll put on a dark one so you guys can definitely see it's changing. And that's how quickly and easily I can change a skin with Omega. If I weren't explaining it to you guys, I've timed it before. It takes me about 60 seconds. It's really, really that simple, especially if you have an organized inventory and you know where your Omega is. Now you guys are saying, okay, yeah, you changed skins, but like, what's the weird lip thing going on? And your brows are all funky and that hair base doesn't match. That's all details, and like, yeah, those things need to be addressed. But as far as getting Omega up and running and just using Omega, you're done. If that's all you needed to know, you're done. You can stop watching this video. Now, if you're at this stage and you're still like, help, like, why do I look so weird? Keep listening. I'll explain that too. So the head just comes with a bunch of different layers turned on with things already applied. Basically because at least the act of turning them off makes you open the HUD and figure out where some things are. It's kind of like a forced tutorial, I guess you could say. So with that respect, this is just sort of like these are all things that like you don't really have to worry about. If you like the way they look over your skin, you can leave them. But if you've put on your skin and you're wondering why your lips are a weird color and you can't see your lips, or you can't see the details of the eyelids because it's got a lot of makeup on, keep listening. I'll explain that to you. So the first thing I'm going to say is like this hair doesn't really need a hair base. So when you open up your HUD, if you open the first tab, you're going to see all these different, sections. Hair base is a section. To the right of each section, on off button. It's that simple. We're just going to click it, turn it off. Done. Like literally, that's it. So hair base gone. Now you'll notice I applied a skin that had brows on it. So now I have like this weird light brown brow, but you can still see kind of like a shadow of a dark brow underneath it. That's because the skin I applied had a darker brow. I don't need to use the logo brows, so I can turn that off. If you have a browless skin, make sure your eyebrow section is on so you can apply your Omega brows, because anything that applies to Omega is still going to toggle on and off through your customization HUD. So if you're applying something and it's not showing up in a section, come over here, toggle it on and off, Make sure that it's not just that the section's turned off. Now, the thing that confuses a lot of people, and I am going to actually apply an Omega makeup just so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about, is if you are wearing the head fresh out of the box, it has the enhanced lipstick applied. And a lot of people think, well, if I just throw on an Omega lipstick, it'll get rid of it. That's not the case. And the issue is the enhanced lipstick goes on a layer above that. I am going to do a video soon, hopefully, that goes into a lot more detail about the enhanced layers and all the benefits. It's amazing. It's such an amazing feature, and nobody's using it, and it's such a shame. So I really want to cover that with you guys. Just understand that if you're willing to take the time and play around with it, it's a really cool thing. It's definitely worth the trouble of learning. But if you're just trying to get your head on and going, and you don't have the patience or the time or what have you, and you're applying an Omega lipstick like this one per se, and it's not showing up right, or you get a weird halo, that's because the enhanced layer is on. So you see that like red halo I have on top or underneath the pink? That's the Omega layer. That's the Omega lipstick. The only issue is that there's a little bit of logo lipstick on top of it. So we're just going to come back to our enhanced HUD, find the enhanced lipstick section, and turn that off. And it's really as simple as that. Then you have that layer's off, and now what we're seeing is Omega. I can still turn the Omega off if I want to go back to the skin and just have my skin showing, but you can still use your Omega lipsticks, or you can even turn on the enhanced lipstick and have an enhanced layer on top of that. So there's just a whole bunch of like crazy different features and options going on for you to pick from if you're willing to kind of take the time to learn how to use them. So let me actually turn off the enhanced layer real quick. I will turn on the Omega layer just so you guys can see Omega lipsticks. I want to show you one other thing, and you have the same thing with the enhanced eyeshadow. If you're having trouble getting your makeup off so you can see your skin, like you're out demoing skins and you can't figure out why that eyeliner won't come off, enhanced eyeshadow layer. That's what you're seeing. Tint that off and you've got, a nice thing going on. So we've got all those kinds of fun things going on. And then the final thing I want to show you guys is just an Omega HUD thing. This is a great HUD for showing you, but actually I have one that has it even bigger, so hopefully you guys can see it really well. But every Omega button actually is 3 buttons in one. Even if it doesn't say it, even if it looks like just a normal button, even if it looks like just one single, that's just a matter of textures. Each one is actually 3 buttons. The default zone that the creator has scripted it to go on. This is sometimes accurate, but in a lot of the older ones, heads were sort of sectioned differently. And so there's actually a concern over, like, sometimes your eyeshadow might also apply to a brow section, or it might also apply to forehead or hair base layer, or your hair base might also apply to brows or eyeshadow or what have you. So these can be finicky if you're having a lot of trouble with an applier that seems to be going to the wrong section a lot, or it seems to have some weird overlaps, whatnot. Try instead, clear those layers, or turn off certain layers, and then go to HUD control and send it only to the applicable layer. So like if I send this only to eyeshadow, then I have control over where it shows up. And you can do that with any section. You can click on it and it'll say, do you want to send it to your ears? Do you want to send it to your cheeks? Do you want to send it to lipstick? Where do you want me to send this? And that gives you a lot more control. So try to, even if it doesn't have these words on them, try to always click your HUD in the middle. That way it'll always ask you, where do you want to send this? And you still have the option to send it to all. Or you can send it, exactly to where you want it. The one thing you don't want to do, if you can ever avoid it, is don't click the bottom third of an Omega button, because that's all zones, and it will literally send, like, this is an eyeshadow. If I click this, it'll send the eyeshadow, to the eyebrows, to the hair base, to the cheeks, to the lips. It'll send it everywhere. I don't even know why this is a button. Like, that should be like an added feature you can use with some kind of like special add-on HUD, because the number of times people accidentally click all zones and then just smear something over their whole face, it's really tragic. I really wish they would repair that, or at least get rid of it. But just something to keep in mind when you're using Omega. If you're having a lot of trouble with what zones your objects and items are going to, put in the effort to try to click in the very center and tell it where to go. And that should really make a difference for you in terms of what results you're getting. And that about covers it. I don't want to go too much in detail into the makeup layers and all the craziness. It's really something that you guys should really explore and play around with. Make a copy of your head. Take the time to really, learn what some of these features are and what they do. But ultimately, it's really just uh, the enhanced features. Actually, let me just show you guys real quick. So, one of the really cool things about the enhanced features is just that you get a lot of extra detail. So I'm just going to zoom in real quick here on my Omega, and that's Omega lipstick. Now, if I put an enhanced like tattoo over top of it, you're going to see a lot more detail show up. See how that looks like now? It's like a super shiny gloss lipstick. And that's just sort of something that if you want some more detail and some more interest going on, definitely look into the enhanced layers. Pink Fuel, Logo, and I Evolve all make appliers for the enhanced layers. These will go over your Omega lipstick, so you can still use all over your Omega makeup. So you can still use Omega eyeshadow and Omega lipstick. You can just put these over top, and so it just gives you some more features to add some detail. Because some of these, like this one, look how crisp and just shiny that is. But if I turn that off and go back to Omega, I mean, it's a nice lipstick. It's a very nice lipstick, but it just looks that much better with a little extra oomph. And, once you have this applied, you can also play with the transparency. So maybe you want to, you don't want it quite as shiny as it is. Or if you want to amp it up all the way, you can. And it's just a fun thing to play around with. And again, even your Omega lipsticks can be tinted, but also your enhanced lipstick. So I can take this enhanced layer and, make it look like it's kind of metallic and foily and give it some crazy reds or stuff going on. So it's really worth playing around and learning some of these features. We're hoping to do some classes soon, start some classes. But just keep in mind that it's definitely worth the time to play around and just get to learn all of the features and all of the bells and whistles. If you make a copy of the head and you screw it up, just delete the copy. Go back to the original. One last thing I'll say is once you've got your face done up however you want it done up, one of the most important things and most vital things is to just detach and reattach. That's how you save things in Second Life. So, I mean, I just put the logo skin back on, but whether you have Omega or logo, whatever, just select all the parts, detach them real quick, and then add them back. That's how you save things in Second Life. And sorry, my poser hates when I detach items while I'm standing here. I don't know why. It just hates me. But if you detach and reattach things a lot, or I'm sorry, if you detach and reattach after getting things exactly how you want them, then even if you crash, even if you have a bad log off, anything like that, everything will come back and still be working and still be how you left it. If you do all of these steps, like even just activating the Omega, if you activate Omega and then 5 minutes later you crash, chances are Omega is not going to be active in that head when you come back. That's how bad some log offs can be. So it's really in your best interest. Here, let me turn some brows back on because that's looking scary. It's really in your best interest to make sure that you detach and reattach, and that just makes sure that it's all saved and it's working. And even if you crash right now, it'll all be there when you come back. And then the other thing is I take a copy of my essential parts, so my head, my eyes, my teeth. I'll copy that, and then in my sort of like main organizational folder, which I hope to explain to you guys someday, I have a folder called Ariel, because that's the name of the head. Logo is Ariel. And then inside I have a default, and that's like my everyday sort of head. And so I have the head, the eyes, the teeth, and then my emote set from like my everyday default emote set. And then I also keep, right now I have extra ones in here because I was messing around earlier today. But generally I just keep one copy of my shape, my default copy of my shape unaltered. And then my brow shaper, sorry, not my brow applier, my brow shaper. And that's one more thing I'll just show you guys real quick. Now that we've activated Omega, yes, you can change the eyes too. Sorry, I totally forgot to remind you guys that we did activate the eyes. I showed you that, but I didn't show you how to apply them. So real quick, you would just grab whatever your Omega eye HUD is, and you're going to give a click. And it'll say left eye, right eye, or both. You can do one, the other, or both. Right there, I just did the one eye, and then like if I pick this one, this is a gift. Grab the Omega applier. I have no idea what these. Oh, that's what these look like. So you're gonna just click one, and you can select both eyes, and it'll apply it. And it's really that simple. So yeah, get out there, get shopping, have some fun. There are so many cool things you can do with these heads, and I'm only scratching the surface today, but I promise you it's worth digging around and taking the time to really learn your head. So, yay. Um, yeah, more to come. I'm sure I'll be doing another one more in depth on the makeup layers. I definitely want to do that and really try to get people using them. But for now, just know there's a gloss layer, or there's a gloss pack, sorry, at the logo store. It has a bunch of different shapes and styles. You got to play around a little bit to figure out which one's right for your head. But once you do, it works over top of your skin. Like I can turn off the lipstick, and it's still really wicked over the. Sorry, this is turning into like a full-on makeup tutorial, but it's still really cool just over your skin. So you can toggle that gloss layer on or off on your skin, or you can change, which one you're using. So you don't even have to wear a lipstick if you just kind of like a natural lip, but you want a little more oomph to it. The gloss packs are a really nice option, and likewise with the tattoo layers. So if you pick a tattoo that's got the gloss built in, you can wear that over your skin, or you can turn your lipstick back on and have it over lipstick. So it's really just a mix and match kind of crazy, whatever you can get your hands on and have fun with. So yeah, that's it for the tutorial, I guess. Any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. I get emails if you guys leave a comment, so I should respond pretty quickly, usually within a day or two, tops. And then the logo group, I'll try to leave a link to that in the description as well. You can always catch me in the logo group. And then the other option is, message me in the logo group. And then, if you have the pre-bento head, I will try to remember to put a link to the video for those in as well, so you can see using Omega on that. So that about covers everything. Yeah, just logos, Arial, and all of these features are the same across all the bento heads. The only difference is the male heads do not have the enhanced layers. So no gloss pack for the guys, basically, and that sort of stuff. Thanks. Bye.